What's up, mortals? It's Dante from the anime Underworld, and today we are going over chapter 231 of Four Nights of the Apocalypse, titled The Conclusion. We got a very nostalgic cover page of old Meliodas and Elizabeth, as well as a tiny, cute hawk. Ah, the memories. Things are about to take a major turn, folks. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get into it. We begin chapter 231 with where we left off. Cath, fully exposed and out of his shell, shocked that he was bested by Mild, the King of Purgatory, much to the shock and horror of the 7 deadly sins. The little furball usurper of chaos regathers all of his chaotic powers in his chibi form, proclaiming that he has never even heard of that form. Actually, Cath, you kinda do. You and Hawk actually kind of know each other, or at least you two have met. Even Hawk agrees, saying, "Oh, I think I've seen that face before." But whatever. Let me say something else. No longer just peeking through the portal, Hawk is trying to go through it with his giant nose clogging up the portal, while at the same time trying to make some sort of epic entrance. I am also known as. However, he's having a little bit of trouble trying to get through the hole. Deodora, can you just not make the portal any bigger? But he does manage to squeeze through as he rolls on in for his grand entrance. Cath is running for his life, hoping to not be ham-rolled. At the Tower of Leonis, Elizabeth, still using perfect time, is crying tears of joy. She is so glad that he showed up. She's talking, of course, about her dear friend, the Great Hawk, King of the Leftovers, as he towers over the usurper of chaos proudly in his new gigantic pig form. Like I said in the previous chapter review, I was so shocked to see Hawk in such a gigantic form. His whole leg was bigger than Deanne. I don't know if it was an angle thing or something, but it was big. He might actually be as big as his foster mom, Mama Hawk. I just gotta wonder how the heck did he get so big? Many people in the fan base thinks that he got big because he's been eating nothing but purgatory creatures. We even met the Demon King in Purgatory for the first time. Hawk's older brother, Wild, explained that he got so big because he ate nothing but the creatures of Purgatory, gaining their strength and power and growing in size. So that's probably how Hawk went from this to this. The Sins are just speechless as their dear little pig friend is now ginormous. King can't believe that it's actually Hawk. Deanne says that he's probably as big as his mom, and we all know the size comparison between those two. Old man Bond is just so glad to see his old master. I always loved Hawk and Bond. Finally, Meliodas is glad to see his dear old friend. Dear old friend, saying with joy in his voice, "Hawk, you outclassed yourself there." If he's talking about his grand entrance, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. The King of Purgatory turns towards the King of Leonis, proudly proclaiming, "Oh, look at all these familiar little piglets." Compared to him, yeah, they are little, but Meliodas jokes back, "You're way past market size by now, aren't you, buddy?" But Hawk takes that as a compliment, saying it's the weight of 10 million years. But Meliodas corrects him, "Well, it's only been 18 years here." For those who don't know, the time flow of Purgatory is way different from Earth. Heck, there's even a little note asterisk in this panel, saying that 1 minute in the real world is the equivalent of 1 year in Purgatory. So if you do the math, and it's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of math, yeah, Hawk is over 10 million years old. But Hawk came for one reason and one reason only: scraps. And eats his meal, much to the speechless shock to the 4 evils of Camelot, who can't believe that the 7 deadly sins had someone like that on their team the whole time. But there's no time for pleasantries when Gothard tells his friends to look out, as they all look above to see Cath in a new form. Cath has taken on a new form that is just hands. It's all hands. Him looking like a very handsy UFO while he flies in the air and gathers energy above him, sort of like a spirit bomb from Dragon Ball. He is just done with all of this bullshit. Why must I constantly be interrupted like this? That's it. No more of this clever nonsense. The energy he gathers above his head is going to wipe Britannia off the map for good. And he probably means it, with the energy source above him looking ready to explode. The wind and debris flying everywhere is enough to make people panic, so this bomb is no joke. With Bellatrix saying with doom and gloom in his voice, "We're done for." But despite the atmosphere going on right now, Hawk just says, "Oh, hey, it's been 1 minute, I gotta head back now." As if he's not in the middle of a life or death situation and forgot to turn the stove off back in Purgatory. Even Bond is calling him out, saying, "Right at this moment." But Bond, it's been 1 minute. The King of Purgatory's been gone for over a year now to them. It's a huge deal. I don't know, Hawk, what exactly have you been doing in Purgatory? Heck, what does Purgatory now look like with you as king? Not that Cath wants to know, because he tells the King of Purgatory, "I'm gonna smash you to pieces, and that little pig too." Or he would've if it wasn't for Hawk using his power to stop the Usurper of Chaos with a move called End of Meal, blasting Cath's spirit bomb while it's still in the air with a giant beam of wind, magic. I don't know, did Hawk learn magic? Regardless, the result is the same. He saved Britannia yet again. With the Usurper of Chaos not happy that his bomb exploded right before him and destroyed all of his hands. All Hawk can say is, you can call that my parting gift. I still can't believe this is the Hawk we all know from the original series. The one who acted like this.
Hey, wait! If I get myself to power level 1 million, it'll be a snap!
Now what should we do first? I guess telling Deanne what we decided would be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it?
I've got a cool idea and you're not listening!
That might actually be his power level now. Hawk gave his old friends the opening that they needed and charged into battle yet again, now that the Usurper of Chaos is weak and exposed, ready to finish the battle for good. Hawk bids his friends farewell and squeezes his giant pig butt right back through the portal, while Diodora watches. But before he goes, he gives Diodora a little warning. And stop making riffs in Purgatory like it's going out of style, you got me? With a very resounding yes from Diodora. Aw man, you gonna stop using Roth's power? What are you gonna do for magic now? Cath is trying to retreat for his dear life. He knows that he's lost. Cursing, damn it. I need to rebuild my force again. No, I'll take Arthur's remaining chaos and get my revenge. Well, you say that, but as a giant wave of earth forms behind you and pile drives your sorry ass into the ground. All thanks to Queen Deanne's attack, Queen's Embrace, pinning the weakened Usurper of Chaos to the ground, where he's met with a very familiar and angry Bond. And Bond wastes no time in getting sweet revenge, attacking the pinned down Cath with Assault Hunt, releasing numerous barrages of attacks on Cath's weakened body, blasting it into bits with physical force. Oh, but the revenge torture's just not over yet, folks. While flying through the air after Bond's attack, King wastes no time in attacking him with true Spirit Chastable 4th form, Sunflower, blasting the demonic cat with a beam of holy light, setting him aflame. There is no remorse in King's eyes as Cat burns through the air, and he is actually hurt. He feels the pain. Despite being blasted to bits, Cath warns them, "Still you can't kill me, as long as the power of chaos is within me." However, Cath's body is starting to be riddled with holes. He doesn't feel pain, he feels a terrible sense of foreboding, like he's doomed to fail no matter how often he tries. With his remaining eye, he looks at his attacker, knowing that what he's feeling is called fear. Cath was turned to Swiss cheese thanks to Meliodas using Trillion Dark, riddling what's left of Cath's body with orbs of darkness. Cath, being nothing more than a falling eye, asks, "Fear?" That's right, Cath. What you're feeling is indeed fear itself, and it's all thanks to Gother using Nightmare Teller. We then get a double-page spread of what's left of Cath being attacked with 7 Deadly Sins combo strike, Nightmare Sins. Cath is now cursed. The pain and fear for the 7 deadly sins he feels now will torment him for all time. Every time he plots against them or Britannia, he is to be reminded of the power and ferocity of the 7 deadly sins. They will go out of their way to ensure that he will die. With that final strike, Cath disappears in the air, and Meliodas warns him. And with that, all of Britannia and his people are back with us. Don't you dare show your face here again, as he looks towards a peaceful sky. The battle with Cath is now finally over. The Sin should be happy, triumphant that they pushed back against the usurper of chaos, saving everyone in Britannia from his evil clutches. But this victory came with a very hefty price. For up above at the Tower of Leonis, Queen Elizabeth has taken her final breath. Perfect time is no more, and she lays there on the tower, lifeless, with a single feather flying above her. And that, unfortunately, is how we end chapter 231.
Whoa. Whoa, Daddy.
The fight is now over, and man, did a lot happen during this battle. Cass revealed that he is not Arthur Pendragon, but the living embodiment of malice. Cath deciding to use his brain and use time magic to make Bond old. Getting Merlin sent so he can hunt her down later. The slaughtering of humans in the 7 deadly sins. Elizabeth using perfect time to save everyone on the brink of death. The return of our beloved Captain of Scrap's disposal, to the epic conclusion of Cath being forced out of Britannia, hopefully to never return again. And all of it ended with Elizabeth Leonis sacrificing her life. There's no telling if Elizabeth even is dead yet. She could still have some life in her. There might be a chance to save her. Regardless, until we actually see the end results, there's a possible chance that Elizabeth could still be alive, or at least she still has a little bit of life force left. But her sacrifice will not be in vain. She helped the 7 deadly sins in propelling Cath, and now that little fuzzball is not going to be returning to Britannia or to lay harm to the 7 deadly sins ever again. But Cath is not dead. As long as he has chaos, he is still going to be around. And since he's not going to be in Britannia anymore, there's only one place for him to go, and that is back to Camelot. Back to the empty void that he created, where the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse, Merlin, and the true King Arthur lie in hiding. After spending weeks, if not months, in Leonis, it's time to turn our attention away from the 7 deadly sins and back to the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse. Cath has retreated to lick his wounds and rebuild his strength. The hunt is now on. The 4 Knights of the Apocalypse must now find King Arthur before Cath does, and face whatever foes await them in what was once the eternal kingdom of Camelot. And we're gonna have to see what happens in chapter 232. With Cath's defeat, what do you think the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse are going to do now? If you love 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Knights of the Apocalypse material, hit that like button, subscribe, follow the Anime Underworld for more content coming your way very soon. This has been Dante from the Anime Underworld, and I'll see you mortals later.